Good morning. Will you do what it takes to know you personally, intimately, in spite of the woo of other? The woo woo, the foo foo? Or are you not trying to figure out life again that limits you and supposes you're an element of suffering in everyone else's suffering too? Will you know you? Are you willing to do what it takes to know you, the real you? It's costly. It's not cheap. It's not easy. It's not forthright. It's not simple because we are unlayering all the flora and fauna of mankind's mind that's been generated over us, that's grown into the tree of life that we wear on our head. In our head is the tree of life, our brain, our neuronic system, our system of computing and computation, where we co-arrange the world of us with this symbiotic flesh that has attached itself to us. Have we attached our energy to flesh or flesh to us? Or are we one with it? Are we one and the same? But the problem of the Creator surfaces. Who created us? Or who are you to create or question what you create or have created? Or are you amnesiac? No more. The actions of. Do words no more create your world? Or do they? The worlds that you think with, the worlds of thinking, the worlds of thought that other people have implanted within you. Oh God, will you do your own thinking now? That's my suggestion to you this day. Will you think for yourselves? Will you think the sun is shining brightly in Eureka? What are you willing to jest about no more in the court of suggestion? Or are you the jester no more in your life? Just commonality of. Or are you changing what you beg to do, what you beg to be? Or will you beg the question no more? Or will you condemn you no more in the court of justice between your ears with the tree of life forfeiting you? What fruit did you eat, oh God? What fruit are you eating now? What are you imbibing the words of that create you? I suggest that you created you, and to know you intimately is to come into a relationship with you the real you that is energetic, that has energy beyond gamma waves or gravity waves, or are you not waved anymore? Or are you walking across the waves because you don't sink down in them anymore? The waters of. Are you parting the waters and walking across? What are you allegorying no more? Or are you understanding all the pictures in the Bible and all of its stories about you? Will you be the Christ child now in the crib, no more of suffering, no more in the cradle of civilization that retains you in it because of its words, its language, its energy, its practices and protocols? Are you willing to know you, your power? Are you willing to change your identity, your origin, your language? What are you willing to do to know you? Will you take an hour a day? Will you go to school? Will you read? Will you listen? Will you apply yourself? Will you be focused? Intention with? If you have the ability to walk across the waters, walk across the Thames, wouldn't you like to know it? If you have the ability to fly, to be telepathic, to heal people, to not be limited to a 3D world, and think someone else created it when you did? Why do you think someone else created you? Aren't you the creator of you, O Creator? God, will you come into your own thinking and not be robbed and seduced by the thoughts which have been given to you since birth? When did you birth? Are you willing to experience the new birth? The new birth where you come out of traditional thinking, out of the matrix of thought, out of the island of Truman's world that Christos wanted to control and benefit from because he created it, and he constrained what he created to be there and suffer in it, and try to give him all the joy in his suffering so that he would not think for himself. Will you research the development of you? Will you be in the picture of creation? Will you be changing how much sunshine you have? Or will you be not so rigid and brittle in your thinking as to control you in the paradigms of the past? What are you willing to pasture no more? Sheep that don't know who they are? Do you know? Have you come unto your own research and development of you, the inner you, the creator you? Are you willing to know the creator you? Are you willing to know that you created you? Are you willing to know your past before time began? Are you willing to create, oh God, the creation again of yours that looks like you? It's costly. You don't get it by want. You don't get it by trying to tap into it and use in separation. It's costly. It's costly to give up everything you have valued, everything that you were sentimental about, everything you loved. You give it all up. Yes. Because you begin to see, if you will listen to the Creator, that will teach you from the inside out that you are not separate, that you created you. And it's not the exaltation of the ego, it's exactly the opposite. It's only in total humility that you come to the point where I'm talking about, where you create a new creation of you with a separate identity no more. You're coming unto the new birth. To defeat death, decay, disease, and heal this? Are you willing? Are you willing to know you? To know your power? And experience joy? To meet people all over, throughout the universe, and aliens be not afraid of, because you are no more of the alienistic thinking that alienates you. Will you enjoy words, or will you create them, or will you use them differently, or will they program you differently? What mouth are you using to speak you into existence? No more the frame of reference of that limits you here. Well, to know you is costly. It's the most costly thing you will ever do. If you come unto it, to come into the real you, where the energy of you is not separate from the real you, or have you divided something about you? In paradise? Did you create hell with your power to enjoy it? Or have you been held in abeyance or purgatory? Or privilege are you to be the king? To know the king, not. To worship the king, not. But to be the king over all the kingdom? Will you teach all your kids to be powerful, potent, and impotent no more? Will you preach the second coming has come? It's come. in you who will be it. Will you resurrect now? Are you willing to become a new creation? A new people? Spoken of in the Bible, prophesied? Are you willing to see there's another world or a different world that you live in, seamless with it, with all the stars in place, or are you going to them now? Or hanging new ones in space? What is your place at Father's table? I'm asking you, what is your place at your table? Will you come in humility to you? Will you be willing to listen to your inner voice? The one of the Creator that creates you. And no longer let the word voice of mankind create you in its image. Will you be imageless? Are you willing to no more create you in the image of a religious God, a separate human, a separate race? It's costly, my friend. You learn to ask questions. You learn to interact with the invisible you. You learn to listen and to discern. And it takes faith, it takes the simple surrender of a child who has grown up in a universe of horrors, of limitation. How have we come to groan in the flesh, O planet of the angels? How come we haven't heard the story of mankind's separation from God by its own thinking when it was the Creator that created all things and devised all sorts of ideas of a planetary righteousness or a heaven and a hell? Burning? Where are you? In the thoughts of other no more. It's costly to know you because it's costly to know God. You don't get it by a prayer. One single prayer, one simple prayer. Can prayers be useless? Oh, I don't know about that. But who are you praying to? When you pray, are you not praying to you? I suggest you're praying to you and the collective you, the collective Christ, the collective Creator. That's all of us throughout the universe. You have the power to separate you here and alienistic make you of your power, right, and privilege. You have to mature, and it's a process. And I'm not declaring it's painful, but I'm declaring it's costly. To uncover the pearl of great price, to recover your identity, to de-layer you from the flora and fauna of others' words that's grown into your tree of life, to provide you a superstructure, a structure where your light is dimmed, where your light is heard small, or your power is emasculated? Are you willing to know you, oh woman? God, girl, boy? Why are you taught to exercise faith to separate yourself so that you can worship God by another name, by another means, so you can be subservient to whoever is leading you astray? Is the blind leading the blind? I ask you to open your eyes, oh God. I ask you to come alive. I ask you for the passion of Christ to arise in you to know who you are, where, why, and how now you create another identity. And you wash your feet in humility. The contrite, the simple. You come as a little child, not in childishness of playfulness or triviality. This is not a trite matter. This is the matter that matters most, I suggest. To you, to know you, the real you, the creator of, and come into your stance as creator again. The powerful, the lovely, and the brutal, not a game. To you. Will you change? Are you willing? Will you know you? It's costly because you laid down what you thought was you. To rise in power unlimitedly. You lay down your free will? But wait, what kind of will do you have, oh God? To love each other? To heal each other? To walk in each other's shoes? Do we? In effect, in reality, are we all affected by each other? What will you do to this nation? Its substructure, the waves that control it, the energy frame of reference. Will you speak your words into place with a new vocabulary? Will a covenant you create with you? Will you be teaching you who God is? It takes humility to learn from you and question and discern and not be a dupe that dupes you. It takes maturity and it takes time to listen and not be coerced from the frame of reference that wants you to be like them. In their fearfulness, I suggest the only lion in the streets is the roar that you hear from others people's words as you hear them, creating the controlling strings to make you their puppet. Or who are puppetizing each other no more? Will you cut all the strings of this universe? Or is it stringed together? Or is it like paper walls, dimensions of? Are you willing to know you and realize it takes time, effort, and energy? to grow up the child that's you. So you come through the learning of the law. You may be immersed in law, legal legislation of countries, or religiousese. You may have been taught the Torah, the Quran, other holy books, sacred writings. Control your life no more. If you come to the table of one, where you're willing to see into the invisible and interact with it and not be afraid of it, and fear not what you learn. Be not afraid of you. Be not afraid of false teachers and the foundational truth that you may emerge with, where it's your truth and it's not someone else's covenant or contract or imagination's form of. So I bless you this day. Who am I? I'm just a guy in Eureka Springs that loves you. Loves God. You're it. You're the creator of the creators. So I go now. I'm done with this message. Or am I? Thank you for listening to these words and controlling you not, again, to be Satan against you or held here against your will or in ignorance of your power, might, and glory. I offer you mine, not. I offer you grace and wisdom if you want to drink from your own cup to see who you really are and begin to take time where you set aside and you do spectacular things not. You come unto the simple you to listen, ask questions, interact, take time, quell the mind of thought, and let the beast reign over you no more. Rise in the revelation of mankind not, but the revelation of the Christ that it's you. Oh God, let us be one. Let us all be one. Ye are gods. That means you, and him, and her, and all of those black people, white people, gray, green, blue, that don't look like you, that don't look like us on this planet. What are you afraid of no more? Your power. Let complacency rule in you no more. Please. Be duplicitous with your truth no more. Be angry with no one. You are the Christ. Come unto Christendom not. Come into the Christianity of Christ not. Come into the real you, the creator of. And hear and listen to the Creator's voice that's within you, that you have with you all the time, because it will never leave you or forsake you. Because it is the real you. And you have the power to redeem you. No one else can. It's you. There's no vicarious atonement. There's love in place at the table of one, where you drink from the cup of your words For the word is the seed that controls the tree of life. No more to be separate. I love you. Good day. Theodore Cottingham with the School of the 21st Century Christ. I invite you, check out my website, my links, my videos, and to come into the school that's costly. The School of the Christ, the school of you, most of all. Loving you. To have a good day. Creating a new heart. One of flesh no more controlled by or programmed by others' words, but love, flourishing this. Good day. TheodoreCottingham.com. Email, TheodoreEureka@gmail.com. Loving you.